So, daylight savings has ended. It's now supposed to be we'll say 4:12. But, however, I have yet to push my clocks backwards. I've been occupied for a few hours. I meant to do it right when it became 2 o'clock in the morning, but now it's 5 in the morning, according to this clock. So the first one we'll start with is my watch. There we go. So now that I have the correct time on my watch, it's time for us to go around and fix the time. So we can start. Oh, let me just make sure that second hand's out of the way. Can start nice and easy with this one. Since it's a single train movement, all we need to do is move the hour hand. And the hour hand isn't too stiff, so I can just go ahead there and move that there. That should be about right. And if it's not, I can fix it later. No biggie. This one's motor is seized since it's so old, so unfortunately it's not gonna work. However, this one is working, so I think it's actually running a bit. Oh no, it's good. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. Perfectly safe to push this one backwards. It uses a modern Korean movement made by Daejin. And now that one's good to go. This one has actually just stopped, or it has been stopped actually for a good hour now because I didn't wind it up completely. Or I guess I did and it just wanted to stop for some reason. So I can set it to the new time. This one's getting real iffy right now. It's really old and it's kind of odd. I don't know what could have stopped it, but it's almost 4:16, so I'll go ahead and set it to there. This was one of the ones that I was going to have to stop for an hour and come back to, but luckily we don't have to do that now, I guess. I moved this one again. And there's a few up here that we need to do as well. So we'll start here. I need to regulate this one too. Okay. This one. If I could just find the time train. There we go. There we go. And now this one. Which is barely running. I need to give it a wind after this. all good. Now this one usually doesn't like to get pushed backwards. Also, yes, that is a moaning ghost inside this clock. So, actually, the rack moves with the hour hand on this clock. So all I need to do is push that hour hand back, and interestingly enough, the striking keeps up with it. And then there's this one, which I have moved. Let's see, we got a 21, 22. I'll put it at 22 there. Yep. Now we wait. Alright. This one here has to be stopped for an hour. So I'll come back to that. This one here uses a modern Hermley movement. So it's okay to push this one backwards. I want to get it as accurate as I can to the time on my watch, so I'm going to give it a minute. And now it's set to the new time. It should be anyway, they're about the new time. Oh. Here's the trend, which also uses a modern Hermley, which won't hurt to push backwards. Not one bit. And go ahead and put it at 25. Now we're approaching 25, so all done with that one now. These guys here I don't need to worry about because they're just novelty. They don't actually keep time at all. Okay, now this one, the Schneider, perfectly safe to also push backwards. And it's at 25, so I can just go ahead and put it there. Thereabout. There we go. Now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and stop it and push it backwards. Don't worry, it's safe to do this. It uses a rack and snail striking mechanism, and I've pushed it back several times before. Now we're good to go. And of course, can't forget the schoolhouse regulator, which I recently had to take off the wall and try and fix again. There we go. And here's my two bedside alarm clocks. This is a West clocks here. I'm going to push this one backwards. What time is it? 27. There we go. And now this one, which is always a bit of a pain to turn back with one hand, so I'm going to set you down and put it here. That's about right. Something that is commonly done wrong with these clocks here, that kind of are circular like this or are held open, there's usually a little notch here. It's a metal notch that you slip this little clip through here into like that. Some people put it in like this and it really muffles the sound of the alarm. You're supposed to put it in there. And now this one. Simple quartz movement. Perfectly fine to push backwards. And this one here, I'm going to go ahead and I also moved this one. And then coming down here, I have my 2 electronic anniversary clocks. Now this one. This one is, there we go. All good to go now. While we're at it, I'm going to wind up the chain-driven clocks. I have to say, this one probably makes about, I don't know, 60% of the noise in my room. It's a very loud cuckoo clock. I was able to cheat a little bit on this one. I pushed it back to 5:18. It is now 5:17 and approaching. I had to stop this one. I forgot to explain because it has count wheels striking. So it needed to be stopped for an hour. But now it's go time. And now everything's fixed for winter. And I'll see you again in another video like this one in March.